to bite-sized episodes of Find Laws Don't Judge Me. I'm Laura Tinney, and I'm joined this week by Veda Mehta.
Hey there.
Hi, and we have Andy Leonetti.
We got weights and fish.
You beat her to it.
You did. I'm so excited for today's topic because it is one of the funniest TikTok videos I've ever seen. We're going to talk we're somehow talking about fish again. I talked about catfishing a couple weeks ago. And
This is now a fishing podcast.
It's now a fishing podcast. So, yeah, we're going to talk about a couple interesting sort of competition cheating scandals that have come up recently. The first of which was from the Lake Erie walleye trial where 8 pounds of lead weights and, bizarrely, fish fillets were found inside fish caught by these two guys, Chase Kaminsky and Jake Runyon. And this blew up on TikTok and Twitter because another competitor in this fishing competition caught the moment on video.
It's a fantastic
Find the video.
video.
It gets a little slow in the middle because for a second you can't quite figure out why this guy is still recording because people are just kind of milling around and you're not really sure what's going on. But all of a sudden he catches on video the event's organizer cutting open the fish that these guys submitted and yelling, "We got weights and fish!" So these guys were up to win something close to $30,000 in prize money.
Yep.
And he starts pulling out, no joke, lead balls like the size of your hand. Like they're big.
And fillets. So can we just clarify?
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing beer battered cod fillets popping up.
They weren't cooked, no. It was just like fish
pre-batter.
meat.
Pre-batter.
Yeah, fish meat. Which that's the thing that and we'll get into sort of the legal ramifications that these guys might face. But I found the fish fillet thing, obviously all of this is morally dubious, but the fish fillet thing I found really disturbing.
I got to go find some fish for lunch. It's already too late. As we're talking about,
oh, you're not disgusted, Andy?
My brain's already wandering to like fish and chips.
Give me that fillet of fish.
Yeah, exactly.
But the idea that these guys took fillets from other fish and shoved them in the mouth of another fish, it's gonna keep me up at night. They turned that fish into a cannibal.
I think they were just trying to make the nautical version of a turducken because Thanksgiving is upon us and we need pescatarians want options.
Right. You like fish? We'll give you a fish inside another fish. I mean, I think, well, and apparently these two guys there had been some suspicion surrounding them for a while where I actually saw that they were also disqualified from a championship last year after one of them, this is so funny, one of them failed a polygraph test at the competition.
Polygraph tests are very popular in fishing tournaments.
The fact that you're subjecting fishermen, of all people, to a polygraph is one of the funniest
of all
things
people. They're not exactly known for
They're
doping, you know?
Exactly. Well, and they're, and even on top of that, fish stories are, sort of the cliche for stories that are not true. Like, fishermen are known as people who embellish and people who don't always fully tell the truth.
But this pair, Runyon and Kaminsky, has won, like, over the last several years, they've won $350,000 in prize winnings.
Yeah.
And probably.
And this was the first time they were gutted.
Yes.
It sounds like people were getting suspicious of them. And I don't know if they just
given the hook.
If they got cocky or what happened. But yeah, this time. And you can kind of hear people in the video when they're weighing these fish. You hear people in the crowd kind of going, wait a minute.
The mood immediately turns.
Yeah. Because the weight that comes up for these fish for their size just doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. They were going after too much.
Much bigger than the second place.
You guys gotta win in the margins, okay?
Right. Well, yeah, if you're gonna cheat, okay, dear listeners, I'm not encouraging cheating by any means, and we'll get into why. But if you're gonna do it, you gotta be reasonable about it. You gotta make it believable.
Don't get greedy.
Exactly.
Or you'll get caught red-handed.
There we go.
There we go.
Or you could get like these guys, you could get charged with attempted grand theft, cheating, possession of criminal tools, and unlawful ownership of wild animals.
Unlawful ownership of wild animals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of the fillets that they had? Or
Yes. Yep.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. That was related to the fillets. The possessing criminal tools was
the boat.
Was considered their fishing boat.
Yep. It was an interesting indictment.
And Ohio has a law against cheating.
Do they?
Yeah, not every state does, I don't think.
Yeah, that is super weird and rare. Okay, so what's Ohio's say?
They are accused of, quote, engaging in conduct designed to corrupt the outcome of an athletic or sporting event.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
It's a 5th degree felony.
Wow.
5th degree.
Yeah.
So probably no jail time. But
no,
fines.
they could a year. They could face a year in jail.
Yeah. I mean, it's a felony. Yeah, it's
cheating.
that's
felony.
fair. That's fair. But that is so rare. Like, Ohio obviously apparently had a cheating statute, but in most states don't. You'll see why they would have to get so creative, like they did here, like making a boat the unlawful
criminal
tool. Like, you would have to get really creative as a prosecutor in most states in order to charge someone with cheating, because you can't charge someone with actual cheating often.
Yeah. Although, when in a lot of these competitions where there's significant money on the line, that's where grand theft comes in. Because grand theft is just theft beyond a certain value. I think in most states it's somewhere in the 1,000 to 5,000 range. And so, I mean, this competition, the prize was something like $28,000. And so you're pretty solidly in grand theft territory.
If you won. Otherwise, I guess it would be attempted grand theft, for which... lower penalties, right?
I love this quote from the prosecutor, Cuyahoga County, which is where Cleveland is. Prosecutor Michael C. O'Malley said when the indictments were handed down, "I take all crime very seriously, and I believe what these two individuals attempted to do was not only dishonorable, but also criminal."
Yep. Taking it very seriously. We got weights and fish.
People once that video went viral, this guy had no choice.
Yeah, he had to charge him.
Yeah, no one was giving him the benefit of the trout.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
I'm making a comeback from my lack of puns last week.
Yeah, I guess our short break you were able to recover. That's impressive. Yeah, the moment where the event organizer is like, gesturing like he's an umpire throwing these guys out of a game.
Throws them out.
So, yeah, get out of here. And the crowd turns very quickly. All of a sudden on the video, you can see like 20 people.
That would break any record in cinema for most uses of the F word.
Yeah.
In a short amount of time.
People were mad. Like, and honestly, I can't really blame these other competitors for being so mad. Like, it's a lot of money. And
see it for yourselves, folks. We can't recreate it on air because it's too many F-bombs.
It's
way too many.
Not safe for podcast, which actually, speaking of other things that are almost not safe for podcast, the other cheating scandal that I wanted to talk about. And so we're gonna talk about chess for a minute. And I have to disappoint you a little bit, because we wanted to talk about this story because there was a rumor about a 19-year-old chess player,
grandmaster,
yes.
Up in your digs, right? St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yes.
The chess capital of North America.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
No, seriously, it's
really?
home to
is, yeah.
It's home to the National Chess Museum.
Oh.
And there's a sculpture outside that's it was the world's largest chess piece, but it just got supplanted fairly recently.
Wasn't that because it looked like something else?
No, that was a different thing.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, was it like a bishop? Like, that seems like a poor choice of piece to select for a chess statue.
Oh, okay.
Go with the knight. Be safe, y'all.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't go wrong with a horse. Unless it's the one outside the Denver airport. But
oh my gosh, the cursed horse. Yeah.
Ooh, that thing is scary.
It
but
is.
Anyway. So I'm going to back up a little bit. So in September, 19-year-old Hans Niemann defeated the previous world champion and chess grandmaster, a guy named Magnus Carlsen, who's like twice his age. And folks had noticed like an almost meteoric rise in Niemann's wins over the last couple of years. And so Carlsen puts out this strange tweet.
Hans
that's
Niemann looks like a cheater, for the record.
I mean, he's 19 years old. I feel like all 19-year-olds look a little shifty.
Little
like
smug,
they're always a little
smug teenager.
Right. But Carlsen, the guy that he beat, he seemed to have been kind of hinting that he thought this other guy was cheating, where he put out this kind of strange post on Twitter that was just a video of, I think, a Portuguese soccer manager saying, "If I speak, I am in big trouble." And everyone was like, oh, he's accusing this guy of cheating. And then they had an online rematch in a tournament right after this. And Carlsen made one move and then dropped out. He refused to play this guy. And
power move.
So, yeah, kind of a power move. But then we get to the spicy part of this where, and I'm going to preface this by saying that there so far has been no evidence that this is true. But the way that this story got on our radar and a lot of people's radar is that another chess grandmaster named Eric Hansen made a joke on a Twitch stream saying that, saying, well, maybe this 19-year-old was using a vibrating sex toy to communicate with his coach and thereby cheat.
Placed inside of him.
Based on like us. Was there a vibrating sound emanating from a tournament?
No, I think this guy was just making a joke, and he wanted to make a joke about anal beads. I don't know if I can say anal beads on the show.
This is an adult podcast, yeah. If you insert the item and it's vibrating, only you can detect the vibrations, and so no one else can detect the vibrations. But also
yes.
like. Does that mean is someone communicating via like Morse code?
Well, that's exactly this? Like once you start thinking too hard about it, the logic of this breaks down, and it's pretty clear that this was a joke. But I will
say this would be a very effective tool for like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where you have a 4-part multiple choice. That would be easy.
4, yep. Yeah. 1, 2 vibrations, 3 vibrations, or 4 vibrations.
Yeah. For chess, I don't know how helpful it would be.
Yeah. Well, because there are ways to cheat at chess, especially now that so many competitions are online. Mm-hmm. There have been instances of people using, I think they just call them chess engines. That's like a computer program to tell them what their next move should be. And this 19-year-old Hans Niemann guy was like, he did admit to doing that several years ago. He admitted that when he first started out in the chess game, that he did do that, but he claims that he has never cheated in an in-person match and that he's not cheating now. And so he has said, and of course he's 19 years old, so he's being a little bombastic about this. And he's like, I'll play naked if you want me to, or whatever. And
please don't.
Please don't. No, we don't need that. No one needs that. But it's an interesting story, and it's something that the not necessarily the anal beads part, because it seems that there's nothing to substantiate that. But the chess community is very concerned about this. And there was it was chess.com put out a lengthy report stating that Niemann, quote, likely cheated in more than 100 online games, some of which included cash prizes. Like some of these, I think these guys can make up to $1 million at some of these tournaments. So it's something that they are, it seems that the powers that be in chess are looking at very closely, but maybe not quite as closely as the internet wants them to.
And tying this all back to the law, as we do.
Yes.
In this
before we
as we are obligated to.
Yeah.
This particular case doesn't have like any criminal charges pending like the fish one, but
Correct.
Hans Niemann is launching a counterattack in terms of civil remedies. He's countering Magnus Carlsen by filing a federal lawsuit accusing him of, quote, maliciously colluding with others to defame him.
Okay, so it's a defamation.
Yeah, colluding and defaming. And so he's asking for like $100 million.
I'll defame his haircut. Kid looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
As we've talked about before, Andy, your opinions about someone's fashion choices do not fall under defamation. It's just your opinion.
You know Timothy Chalamet is going to play him in a biopic pretty soon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
That hair, though.
I don't know if there's quite enough meat to this for that, but it is yeah. It's definitely a story that has caught people's attention. And I love that it's probably just because of this one throwaway joke by some random guy.
But there's been allegations in like competitive poker too that people use like a vibrating wedding ring or something to get signals about someone else's hand. I guess, but once again, that would involve like having to know some kind of very sophisticated code. Yeah. Right?
And I think it's a good point to make. These allegations, whether they're jokes or not, they can ruin your career. Like Neiman says that, like whether it is Carlson or whether Carlson was affiliated with it or not, or whether it was just like totally this rando, his career has been ruined. I would be a little bit more sympathetic with him if he hadn't admitted to previously cheating a bunch of times in his youth.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's like, oh, I only did this, between ages 12 and 16 and never again.
Yeah.
But this is, it is a fair point to say that the legal remedy here would in theory be like a defamation lawsuit. Right. And it might be hard to prove who did it. It might be hard to prove the collusion element with Carlson. But if you know who is saying these things against you and they do ruin you, that is a potential remedy where there's no criminal remedy that you can really pursue here.
Yeah. I have two things of advice too to people, which is George Costanza once said, "It's not a lie if you believe it," and Al Bundy once said, "It's only cheating if you get caught."
Yep.
Glad you tied it back into Seinfeld.
In the case of Kaminsky and Runyon,
they got caught. They got caught big time.
Thanks for listening to Sidebar from FindLaw's Don't Judge Me. We'll be releasing these every other week between our full-length episodes. Please subscribe to, rate, and review our show wherever you listen to podcasts. And if there's a topic you'd like to hear us cover, send us an email at FindLawPodcast@ThomsonReuters.com.